Hello, everyone. Welcome to our main event tonight, which is a live student panel with current UC Merced students. We're so excited to have you here with us tonight. I just want to give you a couple of housekeeping rules here as we get started. The first one is if you look down in the lower left corner, if you have any issues with your audio settings and you'd like to make some adjustments, you can do that there. You would just go ahead and click on that button in the lower left corner of your screen. When that dialog box comes up, you can go ahead and make those changes. The other option is also down at the lower portion of your screen. You should see a little hand icon. If you want to raise your hand throughout, you can definitely do that and just let us know. Or we might do a poll question and you can respond by raising your hand. To lower your hand, you'll just go ahead and click on that icon again and your hand will be lowered. The other option too as well tonight, which is one of our big features for our event tonight with our student panel, has to do with our Q&A, little chat option for you. So we do have students that are going to be online chatting and also answering your questions live on camera, which is very exciting for us. We're so happy to have them with us tonight. To use that feature, you can go ahead and just click on that Q&A button that is also at the bottom of your screen. Once you do that, you will see a dialog box that will pop up. You can go ahead and type in your question and click send, and we will definitely see that and go ahead and try and get to everyone's questions tonight. And the last thing is in the upper area of your screen, you should see a link that will allow you to adjust the size of your screen. So if you want that to go from full screen or half screen, you should have some options there. And so at this time, I'd like to go ahead and I can do a quick introduction. My name is Ricky Hill, and I am the e-recruiter at UC Merced. And I will go ahead now and pass this over to Luis if he wants to go ahead and do his introduction.
Hello, everyone. My name is Luis Valenzuela. I'm a fifth-year mechanical engineering major. I'm actually from Los Angeles, California. And so one cool fact about myself is I actually like looking for the next best place to eat here in Merced. So now it's like pass it on to Carmen.
Hey everyone, my name is Carmen. I'm a fourth-year English major with a minor in political science. I'm from Victorville, California, so it's from Southern California. And the fun fact about myself is I like the color purple.
Me too, that's a great color. All right, we also have Celeste, who's also one of our admissions ambassador students with us. You will see her there. She can give us a little wave. Hi, Celeste. She's going to be chatting with us tonight and chatting with you guys, answering some of your Q&A questions. She doesn't have an audio connection, but she will be still live with us. So you may not see her on screen, but just know that Celeste is there in the Q&A answering some questions for you tonight. All right, so we will go ahead and keep an eye on those questions as they're coming in. I think to go ahead and get started, we will start with Carmen. If you can give us an idea of the types of things that there are to do in the city of Merced, some things that you enjoy here.
So there are a couple of things. People like to say that at UC Merced, there's nothing to do here, but it just depends on who you're with and the environment you're in. So if you're with a cool group of people, then you're gonna have a good time. But if you're with a couple boring people, then obviously you're not gonna have the best of times. There's a nickel arcade that's here. It's pretty cool. It's really fun. And with the school, they have this like outdoor program where you can either go to Santa Cruz, Yosemite, or Six Flags, and they have different places that the school hosts or the school allows their students to go to.
And Luis, do you want to go ahead and address that question as well? The types of things in Merced that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, so like I said before, I actually like going out to try new restaurants around the city. There's an Indian spot that I really like called Turmeric. I try almost every taco truck that I get the chance to. When I do have some free time, I do go to neighboring cities like Fresno, Modesto, Turlock, just to either go to the mall, do some shopping, or try some of their restaurants out.
Perfect. Great. Okay, so we do have some questions coming in. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. And actually, I don't know the answer to this, so we'll go ahead and throw this out to the panel. Are any of you first-generation students? And whether you are or not, if you know of the types of resources that we do have on campus?
Yeah, so I'm a first-generation student, And coming into UC Merced, I joined a program called the Felix Program, and they helped me a lot with getting my studying organization going on. And they helped me, like, we had to do study hours, we had to meet with our advisors, not only our academic advisors, but our advisors within the program. So Felix is a really good program for their first generation students. Yeah.
Thanks.
So I'm also a first generation student, but I am not too familiar with the resources.
Okay, well, thank you for your input. But I think definitely the information that Carmen shared, definitely some great information. We do have also a lot of website information as well. So you can always Google UC Merced and first generation. You can see the different options that pop up, but Google is a great resource for anything related UC Merced. If you put that in there and type in the topic that you have, usually the first option that'll pop up is usually the best one. So let's go on to another one of our questions here. How are the clubs at UC Merced? Luis, you want to talk about that one first?
Yes, so there we do have over 200 plus clubs on campus, so ranging from sororities, professional or social clubs regarding your major. We have a pre-health club. I have Ingenieros Unidos, which I am a part of, engineering club, which is focused a little bit more to Latinos and Latinas. And then we do have some sports clubs, baseball club, as well as I believe we have boxing. So we do have a variety of many clubs here on campus. And I also want to add, so if you don't see it anywhere on the website or on campus when you come visit or when you do come to the school, you actually have the opportunity to create it. You just have to get a couple of friends interested in the same topic, subject of what the club is, and you guys just gotta get an advisor and create it.
That's right. Carmen, do you want to share some of your interests here?
I feel like Luis covered it all. If there's not a club that you see that you're interested in, you can always make your own. We have over 200 clubs, so I'm pretty sure there's something gonna be there for you.
So if one of you want to take the question of what it was like to live in the dorms in our residence halls.
So I can answer that. So my first year, I actually lived with three of my friends from high school. So we lived in one of the newest dormitories here on campus. It was a quad, meaning there was four people to the dormitory. It was really fun. It was so convenient. Whenever I was hungry, I would be able to go to the dining center. Whenever I had the itch to go play basketball or go to the gym, I just walked to the gym. Classes, I could really wake up 30 minutes before, change, get my stuff ready, and walk to campus. So it was also a close community. You got to know everyone on your floor. I still have friends from when I lived in the dorm. So you do make that close connections. So overall, it was really fun.
Yeah, for me too. I also lived in a quad, so it was four of us in there, four girls, and you know how that can get. There's a lot of, like, you don't get your own space, but that's okay because I'm still friends with one of the girls that I used to room with. I don't talk to other two girls because we didn't really get along that well, but that's okay because as long as you have one friend, you're good. But overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed meeting new people on my floor and doing activities with them. It was pretty fun.
Perfect, thank you. And if each of you could talk about and share your journey to UC Merced, what attracted you to our campus, what drew you here, and basically why you chose to attend UC Merced.
So I'll begin. So I actually have a different story. So I wasn't the best student to begin with in high school. I didn't get the best grades. I wasn't on the path to even go to college. So I ended up taking this life changing trip to many universities, showed me that I could really do it. So I applied to colleges I raised my grades up, and then I ended up applying to colleges. UC Merced wasn't my first choice, but it was a backup. So I applied. I actually SRR'd, meaning I accepted the acceptance on the day of. And my first time seeing the campus was orientation. So it was something new. I had never been past Bakersfield. I don't think I've ever been to Bakersfield before that, prior to that. and my dad came along with me. And then once I stepped foot on the campus, I fell in love with it. It really promoted such a close-knit community. Everyone was very welcoming. Everyone talked to me once I got there. I had no trouble finding where I was supposed to go. It just promoted such a close-knit community. But yeah, I had a rough, bumpy road getting here.
For me, it was either between Cal State Northridge or UC Merced or UC Riverside. And I chose UC Merced because honestly, I didn't want to be too close to home. I kind of wanted to be a little further. But as soon as I stepped foot on campus, it was so beautiful. Like the summer, it's really hot, but the sun is like really beautiful. I enjoyed it. So UC Merced is a really close community. Everybody's always here for you, and that's what I really loved about UC Merced. I also came from a pretty small school, so I feel like the transition from that to UC Merced wasn't any different. So it was pretty easy for me, and I enjoy UC Merced and I love it so much.
Great. Thank you guys both for those great responses. And let's see, I'm going to look through here. What types of things do you do on the weekends?
So I'll take that one. So I sometimes work on the weekends. If I'm not working, I'm actually at the library doing homework. And if I'm actually not at the library on the weekends, because I have a pretty easy schedule the next weekend, then I'm actually at the gym. If I'm not at the gym, then I'm out eating somewhere, the flea market, Turlock, Modesto. I just enjoy eating a lot. But if I don't have any schoolwork, my weekends look practically the same, just a bunch of eating.
Yeah, same. I'm a pretty boring person, but I like to hang out with my friends. We either go out to like somewhere to eat or somewhere like out of Merced. So Fresno has a lot of places to go to. Or I watch Netflix and do my homework.
Nice. You guys both talked about going out to eat a lot in the area. Can you talk about some of your favorite restaurants?
So I don't have a favorite restaurant here. It's more like taco trucks. And if I would say a restaurant, it's going to be in Atwater. It's called Los Gordos. They have the best burritos around here. But my favorite food truck has to be, it's close to campus, kind of close to campus. It's sometimes at the flea market. So yeah, I either go from Atwater or to the flea market.
There's actually two places I really love, McDonald's and there's this Chinese buffet that's right by IHOP. Me and my friends always go there. They have the best seafood. It's so good. We love it.
Great. You both gave me some new places to try. I haven't tried any of those yet. Well, McDonald's, but but thank you for those. Those are really great. So we have some questions coming in about Yosemite National Park. Have either of you been there?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Like I said, UC Merced does have this program where they take their students there for free. So it's YARTS. And you just have to check online when the dates are that they'll take their students for free. And they go on like a whole day at Yosemite, and it's really fun.
So I love going to Yosemite. Whenever I do get the chance, I just get up and go. My favorite time is around this time, February, when it's still snowing there. In the spring, it's okay too, but I really don't like the heat and the hot and sweating. So yeah, I enjoy going in the cold.
Very good. Well, and you did mention the weather. So it does heat up in the summer. So right now, I think it's actually raining right now. I think I heard some rain outside. But how do you guys cope with the heat and the weather in the summertime?
I'm from the high desert, so it's the same as here. But when I came here, I wasn't prepared for rain since it doesn't rain in the high desert. And when I came here, it rained so much, like the most rain I've ever seen. So if you're gonna come here, come prepared with your shorts and a jacket, a couple of jackets.
So I am from LA, so we have perfect weather year round, right? So during the summer, I absolutely try to stay indoors. I don't come out. If I'm on campus, I don't leave the library. I really don't. I just get something to eat at the bookstore and stay there until it's time to go.
Very good. Can you guys talk a little bit about the transportation that we have in Merced? We've got Cat Tracks, which is our bus system. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, so yeah, Cat Tracks is a bus system that we have here. They have the bus schedule online, so if you want to check that out, it's just Cat Tracks. UC Merced Cat Tracks, and you can check that out. They have different schedules on the weekends versus the weekdays. Another way of transportation is we have zip cars where you can rent cars. I think it's like $8 an hour or something like that. I'm not too sure. You can also look that up online. And then we have Ubers, Lyfts, and yeah. Luis, do you want to talk a little bit about it? Or?
Yeah, I think you hit all of them.
Yes.
Do you have any others to add, Luis?
No, I think she did hit all the points, the key points.
Okay, great.
Also, if you're my bad. Also, if you're a freshman, yeah, so you can also make friends with upperclassmen. They have cars most likely, so with friends.
That's a good tip. Can Luis, if you can start us off on this next one, can you talk a little bit about your major, how you picked that subject, and what you kind of experienced, the types of classes you take?
Yes. So I actually chose my major my third year here. I came in here wanting to do business or some type of major that dealt with math. So I was kind of iffy. My dad's a mechanic, so I just started hanging around him more, looking at what he did, and then him working on cars a lot really swayed me to do that mechanical engineering degree. And when I began here, I was already taking courses for an engineering degree, which also helped me with my business. But ultimately, it was my dad's influence that helped me choose mechanical engineering.
Perfect. How would you like to use that in the future?
So I'm kind of undecided. I either want to go into project management for a construction company in LA or go into the automotive industry, probably maybe with Tesla or a new up and coming company called Lucid Motors. It's also an electrical car company.
Nice.
That's great. And Carmen, what about your major?
I'm an English major with a minor in political science. I started off my freshman year actually as a bio major and failed a couple classes, so I realized that wasn't for me. And then I actually really love reading and writing, so I was like, you know what, let me try English. I always wanted to go to law school or something like that. So I minored in political science, majored in English, and right now I'm loving the classes. Although it is a lot of reading and writing, like I said, I do enjoy it. So it's something I'm really passionate about. What I plan to do with my major afterwards is the way things are looking, I'm probably going to hold off on law school and go more into like college advising and more into like the educational field until I'm set in stone within the political science, like law and stuff like that.
That's great. Can you both talk a little bit about the community on campus at UC Merced? I have a question here coming in asking if it's open and friendly, basically just the overall general atmosphere on campus.
Yes, I would definitely agree that it's friendly. Everyone welcomes you with the open arms. Any part of campus that you're at the gym, no dirty looks. No one's trying to be the typical, stereotypical person at the gym. You walk to the DC Dining Center. Everyone's very friendly. Professors are really welcoming. You always hear, well, at least when I was in high school, you always hear that professors are so mean. They don't want to talk to you. They don't care about the kids. Right here is the complete opposite. I can come in to talk to my professor whenever I like. Well, you make a appointment, you can. Some of the professors know me by name. I have built this relationship with some of them. So the environment is just very friendly and welcoming.
Yeah, so I think I read somewhere that we're the most diverse university out of the UCs. Everybody's so friendly. Honestly think it's like a little interesting because where I'm from, I guess not everybody's like that. And so when I came here, everybody's just like smiling and happy. when I used to work at the dining center, everybody would be like, good morning, and how are you doing? And I'm just like, you guys are a little weird, but I like it. It's new. Everybody's so friendly. Everybody's more than willing to help you. We're a community. We're always here to help each other no matter what, even if we don't know you. Your professors are more than willing to help. Everybody's so understanding of like the first generation students, and yeah, everybody. So I love it. Everybody's so nice. It's pretty cool.
That's great. You both have had such a wonderful experience so far. Another question that's come in is a little bit related to that last question. They're asking, what is the classroom environment like and how many students are in a classroom? So obviously we realize that there's some diversity depending on the subject, but talk a little bit about what your classroom environment's like and the class size.
So
Yeah.
some,
So,
oh,
okay. So like I said, I'm an English major. There's not many English majors at UC Merced. So, and I think this is like for the all UC Merced. The classroom size is 21 to 1, so 21 students and one professor. It's pretty small, so you get that one-to-one time with your professor, which is very convenient considering how other universities have a bigger classroom setting, so you don't get that one-on-one with your professor. But lectures are a little bit bigger. I think it's like 301, but you still get like your discussion section, which is when you get that more one-on-one with your professor.
So for me, the biggest classes I have had are my general education classes. Back when I was a freshman in second year, there were like 100 plus, 150 plus. But as I progressed to my degree courses, they did get a lot smaller. So one of my courses right now is, I believe, 50 students with the lab section. The lab section only carries around 10 students. So we do get that one-on-one connection with the professor or the TA at the moment. It doesn't feel like you're lost in the crowd. You can always reach out and actually get a response at a decent time. So I feel like we do. That's also what sets our UC Merced apart. Just having that ratio, the student to professor ratio. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you both for that. This next question, I will go ahead and throw it out to both of you, but I can also answer it from my perspective as a professional staff working at UC Merced. So the question is, how can I get information about financial aid? So it's a great question. We do have a website that has all the great information that you'll be needing for that, has links to FAFSA, California Dream Act application, any other question and answer that you may need some help with. That website is financialaid.ucmerced.edu. Again, financialaid.ucmerced.edu. And once again, this is a great opportunity where you can go to Google and just type in UC Merced financial aid, and you will definitely get the link to that website as well. So thank you for that question. I'm going to go ahead and send that link as well in the Q&A so you can access it there as well. And then Luis and Carmen, if you want to talk about your experience with financial aid or scholarships, scholarship application, things of that nature, please feel free.
So whenever I had trouble or any questions about financial aid, I could call the number on the website, or I could just go in person to the financial aid office. They're very helpful. Again, very welcoming. That's what this campus is all about, very welcoming. They answer your questions right then and there. Any concerns, they can even advise you one-on-one, give you that close connection once again. But yeah, for the most part, my time here, I go to the office, the financial aid office, for any concerns.
Yeah, so my freshman year I actually had to go through the verification, which was a very long process. I had to turn in my parents' taxes and all that stuff. So I just went into the financial aid office and they helped me really quickly, and I was in and out of there.
Great, and I'll add a little bit to that as well. Financial aid is located in what's called the Students First Center. That office is located in the library, and it's actually a one-stop shop for students. And the frontline staff there at the counter, as well as on the phone lines, they can help you with questions related to registrar, admissions, and financial aid. So everyone there is cross-trained. And then if you do have a more in-depth question specifically for financial aid or your FAFSA, or as Carmen mentioned, if you're selected for verification and you have questions about those types of documents that can get a little bit more tricky, you could go ahead and go to the Student First Center, and once you're on campus, and ask to speak to a financial aid specialist, and you can definitely meet with them, and they will have a one-on-one confidential meeting with you in their office. So definitely the resources are there in the library, in the Student First Center. Their number, if you'd like to make a note of it, is 209-228-7178. And again, you can also hit up Google and just type in UC Merced Students First Center or even financial aid, and that information should come up for you as well. Okay, can both of you please speak to the question that says, what makes UC Merced different from the rest of the UCs?
I would add that again. I just keep saying there's a close community. If you were to go to UC Davis or a bigger school, it'd be 30,000 students, so you might not get that one-on-one you would like with the professor. You'll probably feel lost in the crowd, which is why a big reason why I didn't choose to go to a bigger school. I didn't want to feel overwhelmed, you would say, with so many people being around me, being in my classes, being in lecture halls. So I think that's one thing that does set this school apart from all the other UCs.
Yeah, so I feel like our school is one of the most diverse UCs in the UC system. So that's what sets us apart, like out of everything. I actually remember for a class I took, I had to do phone surveys, and I called someone that used to work at UC Merced actually, and I think she works at UCLA right now. And she said that UC Merced was one of the best schools that she ever worked at. So that just sets us apart, like a professor actually saying that, and working at UCLA. So yeah, everybody is so friendly. Everybody's more than willing to help.
I can definitely speak from experience on that one too. Having worked in higher education myself for going on 16 years, quite a while, I've worked at a couple of different institutions, and by far UC Merced definitely has that family feel, that close community on campus. It goes across from not only students, faculty, but also staff. In fact, early on when I first was hired, I had students that would buy me lunch, and I didn't know why, but they did. They just said they wanted to treat me to lunch. It wasn't anyone that I knew, but it's just kind of going to show the type of atmosphere that we have. They had a few extra dollars on their meal plan, and they decided to treat me to lunch. So that was early on for me, and I think everyone that I know has had something similar like that happen. So it's definitely a great place here. So another question coming in is, how quickly did you adapt to living in the dorms?
I for one, the day I moved in, I really wanted to get away from home, like Carmen said. I did not want to keep living with my parents. The yelling, well, you know how it is. The first day I moved in, I got situated. Second day I was there, I explored the campus. I went to the dining center, I went to the gym, I went to the library, I went to where my classes were going to be held. I was so excited. I was in class before classes started. So the dorms was just very fun for me. I explored everything, saw where I was supposed to wash, where I could cook if I wanted to cook, where the game room was at. We do have game rooms in every dormitory on here. That includes a big television, some game boards, a foosball table, and yeah. So I really got situated my first day there.
For me, it was the same because I shared rooms with my sister, so sharing room was nothing different. But I did get a little homesick a couple of times, and I couldn't just go home whenever I wanted because I live like 6 hours away. So it was definitely a transition, but as long as I had a friend or somebody that can like kind of distract me from that mind space, it really helped me just not be as homesick, but be a little more comfortable with where I'm at. So yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you both. So this is just a little bit of a shout out. Derek has logged in, and he just wanted to say that he's here and wanted to say hi to everybody. So, hey, Derek, thanks for tuning in with us, and thanks for chatting. Okay, so moving on to another one here. Let's see. And you guys have touched on this a little bit, but let's go back to it since we've had another person ask the question. How did you make new friends and make new connections in the university? So coming here from your hometowns, how did you make those connections?
For me, I'm really shy. I feel like I'm an introvert, but I kind of grew out of that. It's really hard for me to make friends since, like I said, I'm shy. I don't really like to talk to people that much. But ever since I joined Hermanas Unidas and I got jobs and things like that. They've helped me really open up my mind and open up more to like people. Hermanas Unidas became my home away from home. And like I said, I used to get homesick a lot. So they really helped me distract from that mindset. And whenever I wanted to go somewhere, they'd be like, hey, let's go to Yosemite. And we took a trip to Yosemite, or they'd just have like a little gathering at their house or something, and we'll have a lot of fun there. So yeah, an organization really helped me.
For me, I think I'm the opposite. I'm actually an extrovert, so I do enjoy making a lot of friends. My first week on campus, I was in the gym playing basketball. I actually made some friends that I still talk to this day. They graduated, they're older, or they're my age, and yeah, that was one way. I just went out. Um, just met new people at the gym. I joined some clubs. So I did start my own fraternity on campus called Pack Up a Fight. It's a social fraternity. So this was a way to meet and make new connections. I actually, this is where I actually met most of my friends. We do have social gatherings between other orgs and just got more acclimated with the campus and just met new people through there.
And actually, you have someone that said, "What is Hermanas Unidas?" Sorry, I forgot to mention it. It's an organization based on women empowerment within the Latinx community.
That's great. Thank you both. And then Carmen, we actually had a specific question come in for you. So someone would like you to talk more about the political science program, if you can, please.
So I'm just a political science minor. I'm not too sure how it would be like if I was a political science major, but all I have to do is take 2 lower division political science classes and then 4 upper division classes. And then I don't really specify in any kind of like, I think people do take pre-law classes, but I'm just political science. So whatever classes I want to take, I would take it within political science, and that would go towards my minor.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And also, can both of you please touch on what it's like to be a full-time student while also holding down some type of student job on campus, or if you happen to work in the community?
So I would add that it is very tough. Sometimes I saw most of the time this semester, for example, I start my days at 9 a.m. and don't end till 9 p.m. So between that, I do start classes in the morning, and then I have work, and then I have classes once again, back-to-back classes, and then I do sometimes work again, and on top of that, I have to do homework. So I would say time management is going to be your biggest friend. But it is doable. I actually do work 2 jobs on campus. Right before this, I was actually working the job. So I had class in the morning, had to do another Zoom meeting for that class, and I had to go to work. Then I have this webinar going on, and then I have to do homework right after. So it is possible, just a lot of cramming to do in your schedule, a lot of time management.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you joining us tonight, Luis. It sounds like you've had a very busy day. Thanks for making time for us tonight too. Carmen?
Yeah, for me too. I feel like I work better when I'm busier because it helps me organize things a little better. So I just keep like a planner and I put all my assignments there. I put my work schedule there. I only have one job. I have this job and I'm a full-time student. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of time management and just organizing yourself to organize all that in one.
Great. And since we are talking about student employment, can you, Carmen, start us off with describing exactly what you do as an admissions student ambassador?
Yeah, so right now I'm currently going to high schools and talking to juniors about what their plans are after high school. So I go in and I look at their grades, I check their GPA, and if they're like at that level where they're potentially able to go, a 3.0 or higher. And sometimes I even look at students with the 2.7 because they are at their junior year and they can obviously raise that grade up. So I tell them like, hey, you need to become more involved within your community so you could be a more competitive candidate. I also talk to them about like colleges they can potentially go to, since some of the students I've talked to don't really know where they want to go, but they can go to UC. So I just talk to them about college and where they can go and help them start thinking more about college.
Great. Luis?
Oh, yes, so I do sort of the same thing as Carmen. I'm more of a general size, so any college fairs that there is in high schools, I attend. I do sometimes go to high schools and do visit one-on-one. For my other job at the campus store, I just work, it's like retail. I serve the students when they come in. I work register, I stock, and yes.
Great. So another question coming in kind of about how to balance everything. So the question is, how many classes per term should I take if I want to balance academic life with social life? Can you both talk about that? Luis, do you want to start?
Yes. So I would say 16 units. That's around four classes a semester, and that's enough to balance the social and academic life. I would say your friends are some of your close friends are really going to be in the same major that you're in. So sometimes you're going to be taking the same classes, and if that's not the case, 16 units is not overdoing it. I would say pushing it would be like 20, 19, 18, 20 if it's even allowable. But I would say like four classes, 16 units is very doable with the job and balancing your social life.
Yeah, I agree with Luis.
Perfect. How many units are you both in now?
I'm currently taking 18.
18. That's quite the load. Carmen?
I'm taking 16.
16.
Luis, would you like to talk about what that's like?
Right now it's very tough. So 18 units, it is 5 classes. So my Monday, Wednesdays, every day is jam packed from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And sometimes when I have the motivation, it does start at 6:30. That's where I go to the gym so I can end much earlier. But yeah, my day-to-day is class, work, class, homework, lab sometimes at 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So it is a lot to do. It keeps me going, keeps me on my toes, but I do enjoy it. It is fun.
Great. Have either of you done study abroad?
I have not.
No.
No? Are you thinking about it?
I've had friends that have studied abroad to like Italy and places like that, and they've always come back saying they loved it, and it's an experience they definitely would recommend anybody to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fourth year, so it's kind of too late for me. I'm about to graduate already, but I regret it, and I wish I would have done it. But yeah, people that have done it say they enjoyed it.
Luis, do you know anyone that's done study abroad?
I have a few friends that, just like Carmen, they said that this is the best decision that they've made. They wish that they could stay there or not come back. They wish that they could go back. They're actually, some do plan to go back in the near future just because they enjoyed it so much.
Great. So definitely this would be a great opportunity again to hop on Google and just type UC Merced study abroad. Those websites will come up and you can take a look at all the different opportunities in different countries that you can visit, and also still receive financial aid to help you make that happen. So definitely something to check out. Okay, so popular question coming up tonight is, can you bring your car to campus? What can you guys talk about for that one?
So while you live on campus, I believe that they just recently made the decision to have incoming freshmen be mandatory for them to live on campus for 2 years. So unfortunately, while you live on campus, you cannot have a car. So yeah, they just don't allow it just because of the parking spaces and how that would work out.
Yeah, but unless you have like some medical condition or a special circumstance, then you can waive that and you can actually bring your car, but it just depends on the circumstance. But if it's not a necessity, then just make like a friend that has a car and you get around.
So you basically introduce yourself to someone, then say, do you have a car? And then can we be friends? Right? Is that how you do it? Okay. Okay, so another question here, and I can help out on this one too. What does it mean if you are awarded work study and financial aid? So first I'll ask Carmen and Luis, have either of you had work study before? And I can explain a little bit more about it, but just curious if either of you have had that.
No.
I have had work study. but I unfortunately did not know what that meant as well, so I did not accept it, and it's still in my awards unaccepted. But yes, I have been awarded work study.
Okay, well then this is prime time for me to answer that for you as well. So basically what work study is, it is part of your financial aid package. So you may see some type of grants, scholarships, loans, or work study type of award based on your FAFSA or California Dream. And basically what that is that if you accept that award, then you can get an on-campus job, and it could be something like the admissions ambassador. It could be someone, student worker that's in Students First Center, financial aid. It could be anywhere on campus, and just depends on how the job is listed for that specific department and if they're receiving the funding for work study. It sounds kind of complicated, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that 25% of your paycheck is coming from the department that you're working in, and 75% is actually coming from the federal government for your financial aid. Now, on your side, let's just say, for instance, if Luis was a work study student, he would still just receive a regular paycheck, just one check. So he wouldn't see 25 coming from this side and 75% coming from somewhere else. It's still just one paycheck, and all of his work duties would be the same as Carmen's. There wouldn't be any difference other than where the money's coming from, and that's strictly based on what you're awarded for financial aid, what you're eligible for. Hopefully that answers that question a little bit for you. Also, to that person that's asking, you can also, again, go on the financialaid.ucmerced.edu website, and you can find more information there. You can also call the Students First Center, and one of the receptionists or the representatives will be able to answer that as well and take a look at your specific award and talk with you about that in a little more detail. And their number is 209-228-7178. And once again, Google's a great resource. You can type in UC Merced, Students First Center, financial aid, work study. All of those things will be great key terms to pull up more information about that topic. So thank you so much for that question. Let's take a look at what else we have here. We have some duplicates coming in, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here and see if we can find something a little bit newer here. Oh, meal plans on campus. Can you guys talk about either the meal plan when you lived in the dorms and the residence halls, as well as other opportunities that we have on campus for meals?
When I lived on campus, we had a sort of like a debit card type of program. Money is loaded onto your CAD card, your student ID, and whenever you were hungry, you go to the dining center. The items we listed off by dollars. So a burger would be $5. You get it. It was like sort of like a buffet. You could get as much as you want, but you gotta pay for each individual item. So once you check out, you swipe your CAD card, and the money is deducted from your CAD card. You do have a set balance. You can add whenever you like from the online portal, so you never have to worry about not having any money on your CAD card. As for now, it has changed. Now we have moved towards a swipe kind of system. So you just swipe in to get in, and it's a buffet style dining center that we do have. All you can eat. You can stay in there for however long you like. You can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you're even up for it without leaving.
Yeah, so depending on your meal plan that you've selected or you're going to select, I'm not too sure what the process is right now. You can decide whether you get one swipe a day, I think 2 or 3 swipes a day. So it all just depends on what plan you do choose.
Great, thank you both for that. The next question, I'm also going to help out on this one, and I'm currently putting the link into the question in the Q&A area. So the question is, where can I see the cost of attendance for UC Merced? So again, I will reference the financial aid website, which is financialaid.ucmerced.edu. If you scroll to about the middle of that website, there is a little icon of a gold $sign you can click on. It says the word cost below it. Once you click there, and I'm right now sending that link in the Q&A section if you'd like to take a look and just click on that. Once you click on that link, it will take you to a website that's very detailed. It starts off with cost of attendance. It goes through and talks about what direct costs are, which those are the types of costs that are paid directly to the university and billed to your student account. It talks about the net cost, gives some examples of fees, room and board, books and supplies, transportation, and it continues from there. So it does give you all of that great information. It also has a little bit about housing. So it's a great resource, so definitely check that out. Again, it's financialaid.ucmerced.edu, and you would click on the link that says cost that has that big gold $sign. So thank you for that question. Let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit more here, see what else we have. Oh, so this is a nice question. So from each of your perspectives, can you describe campus? So if someone hasn't been here, can you explain, we've touched a little bit on the atmosphere and the family type community, but can you talk about like the landscaping and the buildings and those sorts of things?
So our campus, our campus is actually, I think, the #1 most environmentally friendly campus. We're very high tech, I would say, compared to the others since we are very new. And there's a lot of grass, there's a lot of, the lake is right behind UC Merced. So if you guys want somewhere to go, because you guys are going to be in the dorms, there's the lake, like I said, and the lake has, what is it, like canoeing or something like that?
Kayaking? I believe it's kayaking.
It's really fun. Yeah, so UC Merced is really pretty.
Adding on to what Carmen said, I would say the dorms are very modern compared to other schools. There is a lot of grass area. We do have a big statue on campus. It signifies a new beginning, but I would let you guys figure that out as you guys come in because there's a significance to that. For my part, the engineering and science buildings are very modern, very high tech. But apart from what she said, yeah, we do have cows around all the campus. So I feel that sets us apart from everywhere else.
Definitely. I would have to say, I think the cow is our unofficial mascot. We do have Rufus Bobcat, amazing, but we do have a lot of cows surrounding us. So they definitely have a presence there. And, you know, when we all see them, we kind of take pictures and wave and talk to them. So they definitely are here and they're here to stay. Okay, so let's see. Another question coming up here. So I have a lot of people writing in about football and about sports in general. So football, I have to say, we don't have any football games on our campus. We don't have a football field right now. But can both of you talk about sports and maybe some of the events that you've attended, sporting events here? I know we have soccer, volleyball, basketball. You want to touch on those a bit?
Yeah, so we are a NAIA school, so we're not D1, D2. We're gonna get there, but we're not there yet. The women's basketball and the guys basketball team are actually very, really good. The women's basketball team actually competed for the championship, not last year, but prior to that, 3 years in a row. The soccer guys actually made it really far into playoffs this past year. So we don't have a division high ranking, but our teams are very exciting and fun to watch.
Yeah, so we have Intramural Sports. Did you already talk about that? Intramural Sports?
You can.
Yeah, so we have Intramural Sports where you can basically just play with your classmates, your friends. Yeah, and they have this thing where it's with the basketball team where the whole school could get together and just watch the basketball team play. And they have games there. They have the dance team perform, the cheerleaders. They have games, like I said, they throw t-shirts, give out free pizza, and our mascot comes out. Yeah.
And then I just wanted to add some of the teams that we do have that are NAIA ranking are women's and men's soccer, women's and men volleyball, women's and men track and field, and basketball.
Excellent. Great information. Thank you so much. Can you please talk about any type of tutoring services or assistance that you've had in homework and studying type programs that you've experienced here?
Most of my tutoring now comes from professors, but prior to that, my freshman year, there's a program that we have on campus called PALS. So they're your classmates, your peers as mentors or tutors, where you could make an appointment meeting and they come out to your study room, the library, and they can help you with math, science, sociology, psychology, any subject that you're having trouble with or you just have questions about. So I utilized that service a lot when I was a freshman.
Some of the resources I've used, Like I said, I was in the Felix program, and I also saw a question on here talking about Felix program, so I'll just answer it right now. The way you sign up is you just have to put in an application. So it depends on your application whether or not you'll get accepted. But Felix helped me a lot. So their advisors are people that usually are majoring in math, or they're just students like us, but they also help me with my math homework, my science homework, and things like that. I've also used the Writing Center, which is located in the library. I'm not too sure what floor, what room, because they just changed it, but I've used the Writing Center. We also have a STEM center where they can help you, obviously, with your STEM classes. And yeah, and your office hours. Office hours are the hours that your professors hold for the students to come in and talk to them about that class. So if you're struggling, don't be afraid to ask for help at any time. They're more than willing to help. They actually want you to ask questions, so don't be afraid to. And yeah.
Great responses, thank you. So another question coming in has to do with housing and when you move in. So what types of things should a first-year student bring when they are moving on campus?
My freshman year when moving in, I definitely bought comforters. I brought a little fan with me as well, little book divider. I'm actually a very simple guy. That's like almost all I brought. Some pillows, a mini fridge. I would say bring a mini fridge to keep all your essentials there, whether when you get hungry. You're not allowed to bring a toaster. It's a fire hazard. But I would say just not everything in your room, just I would say the most important things.
Yeah. So I brought like a hamper for my dirty clothes. I brought a desk lamp, my laptop, obviously a comforter, pillows, right? And the beds aren't that comfortable. So if you want something more comfortable, you can get the mattress toppers. What else did I bring? I brought like little containers for my snacks that I left in my room. Obviously hangers and essentials like that. I brought a microwave, and we had a mini fridge. And I think there's more things, but you can also look on YouTube. There's a bunch of YouTubers who tell you what your essentials are, and yeah.
And can you both talk about off-campus housing?
So I during my first year and then my second year, the school does offer some off-campus apartments, so on-campus housing where you can get your own room at an apartment or shared, and you're allowed to have a car if you have on and off on campus housing. But if you choose not to live or be associated with the school living housing regards, you can rent a house with some of your friends or an apartment, and that there's a lot of choices with that bunch of housing around Merced. So there's never a shortage of rooms around Merced.
Yeah, so I've lived off campus since my second year as well. I never got a part of the apartment program, but there's this thing that UC Merced has made. It's a Facebook page called UC Merced Classifieds, and that's where I found my housemates, where I found a house to live in. It's just a bunch of UC students trying to look for other UC students to live with them in their room. So yeah, that's the way I did it.
Great, thank you so much for that. Let me just continue to look through some of these. We do have some duplicate questions coming in. Let's see. Do either of you have experience with research opportunities on campus?
Yes. So we do have a program called UROC. You do apply. You do submit an application. There is a website. I don't have it on top of my head, but you get to pick what subject or topic interests you, and then you get matched with the professor. Or the way I did it, I reached out to a professor. I just really enjoyed what he was teaching, what he was doing. For my example, he was working with UAV, which is drones, and that really interests me. So I reached out to him, told him what I liked about it. He ended up offering me a research opportunity. So now I'm doing research for the school at the Merced Vernal Pool Reserves. So I would say you could submit an application, but if you want to go another route, you can just research the professor, look at what they're researching in, and if you really like that topic, you could reach out to them, send them an email, meet them in person, and just go from there. Most of the time, they're really glad to bring you along.
That's a great response, Luis. Thank you so much. And you did mention the website, which I can give out right now. It's UROC, and it's spelled just the letter U, ROC.ucmerced.edu. So again, uroc.ucmerced.edu for more information on that particular opportunity. All right.
I've never done research, so.
Okay, I wanted to give you a second there. Okay, so let's see. There was another question over here, and this one has to do, I think, with a little bit of being homesick, maybe when you first come to campus or when you travel back home and you have to leave your family again, family and friends. How many sleepless nights did each of you have when you came to UC Merced? I know I'm with you, Carmen.
Honestly, a couple. You just have to get used to it, you know? Just make those friends that are gonna help you get through those tough times. At least one close friend, a community, an organization that you can join that can help you with your transition. It's depending on your circumstance, depending on like your friends, your environment is gonna determine how homesick you get. So if you're not liking where you're at, you're not liking your friends, you're gonna get homesick. So join an organization or a fraternity or sorority that you're gonna really enjoy, and that's really gonna help you just not get as homesick as you would if you weren't to have that kind of opportunity.
So I had 0 sleepless nights. I honestly don't even think my parents missed me. They didn't call me or anything. It's okay though.
Here's another question. It's kind of along the same lines, so I don't think we have to re-answer it, but just another one along the same lines that this particular person said that they're afraid that they might get homesick. And so what clubs do you recommend, or any recommendations to keep their head from overthinking things? I think you kind of touched on that, but is there anything else you would want to add?
So like I said, I'm in Hermanas Unidas, which is an organization based on women empowerment in the Latinx community. So just on like your type of persona, so say I'm a Latina, so I'm going to join an organization that's more towards my community that makes me feel more comfortable. So it just depends on you. Like we said, we have over 200 orgs here on campus. So there's going to be something that you will find towards your interest.
Some of the other clubs similar to Hermanos Unidas would be PA. It's a Filipino organization, and we do have BSU on campus, Black Student Union. So there is a variety of clubs that will make you feel at home, give you that, keep you from being homesick, keep you busy with events on campus, and just give you that those connections and for long, lasting friends.
Okay, great. So just a quick announcement. We had only scheduled this to be on tonight for an hour from 6 to 7. I can definitely tell that we definitely have some more questions coming in. It looks like over 200 questions still that we need to address. We'll stay on for about another 10 minutes or so and keep answering your questions live. We're so excited that we had such a great turnout tonight, and thank you to Carmen and Luis and Celeste, who's kind of in the back there answering some questions as well. So again, we'll stay until about 10 after 7. Anyone who doesn't get their question answered, we will be able to download these for you and get back to you via email if you've provided an email address for us. So don't be worried that you won't get your question answered. Even if it's not answered on live, we'll definitely go ahead and get back to you through email. So let's see, another one here. There's lots about research. Let's see. So here's kind of another one. It says, having only around 8,000 students, does UC Merced seem lonely during the night and the weekends? So it looks like we've got a lot of people worried that they're going to be homesick and not have a lot to do. So maybe touch on that a bit.
So like we said, there's over 200 clubs. So that means that there's always an event going on campus. So there's always a bunch of students just running around, they would like, example, today I have my intramural playoffs, so there's definitely going to be some students there. I don't believe any fraternity events around here, but sometimes they do have philanthropy weeks, which means that all the fraternities and sororities come out and just hold a big fundraising for their organization. Apart from that, we do have some many other events, so it doesn't seem lonely. It doesn't feel lonely on my part. At night, well, if it's like 12 a.m., then it's definitely gonna be lonely. But apart from that, it doesn't feel lonely.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really feel that lonely. Like I said, join something that you're gonna be passionate about and you're gonna love, and you'll love the friends, you'll love your people. Join something that you're gonna enjoy. Yeah, I feel like it's not really that lonely, even though there's not that many students. We do have events on campus too, like Coachella. We had LMA come out here. We had Ray J, E40, people like that. So we have events on campus, and there's a lot of things to do here.
Great. So we do have a question about farmers market. Can either of you talk about the type of food programs that we have? I know there is a great website, basicneeds.ucmerced.edu. We do have the Bobcat food pantry on campus, and also the farmers market option. If you want to explain some of those to our audience.
So the Bobcat Pantry is a service for the students where they can go and just grab some food that we have that the school offers to us, whether it be dry goods, canned goods, and that's open to every student on campus. The farmers market, I'm not too sure of that. I've never heard of a farm market unless it's the flea market, where there's a lot of fresh produce from the local people. But yeah.
Yeah, so the food pantry that's on campus, you get 5 tickets, I believe, or something like that. So each food item is a different ticket. So say you get eggs, that's worth 2 tickets, and rice would be 1 ticket. So yeah, you'd get free food through that, and that's every week. I think they have it on. I'm not too sure of the dates, but you can look up that online too. What other things do we have? Um, I'm not too sure, but I know about the food pantry.
Great. I'm actually getting some information too from Celeste. So thank you, Celeste, for trying to answer this question for us as well. Let me go ahead and get her response. Let's see. So we do have a local farmers market. It is open in April and shuts down around the month of November. And it is located in the Merced College parking lot, which is on G Street in Merced. If you're not familiar with that street yet, you soon will be once you're here. And Merced College is the local community college. So it's separate from UC Merced, but they do offer a farmer's market there. Also the Bobcat Pantry, you guys talked about that one as well. There is, again, a great website for that. That's called basicneeds.ucmerced.edu. And again, Google's another great resource. So if you didn't write that down, you can just Google UC Merced Bobcat Pantry or Basic Needs, and you'll get that information brought up for you there too. Okay, so let's go back through here in our last couple of minutes. So we've got a lot of questions coming in about internships. Can both of you discuss any internship opportunities that you're aware of?
Yes, so we do have the career services on campus. They do help you. They look over your resume, your cover letter. They do hold job fairs on campus, and you can also meet with them one-on-one to advise you to help you apply to these internships. I actually got my first internship through the UC Merced's internship website, so I don't have it at the top of my head once again, but it's a UC Merced extension, and you just apply like you would a regular job. And yeah, but that's just one great resource that UC Merced offers to the students. They help you one-on-one, resume, cover letter, and just meet with the employers.
Yeah. I feel like Luis covered it pretty well.
Okay, I can offer a couple websites for that one as well. And in case our audience hasn't caught on yet, we do offer a lot of great information online on the website. So it's not to just push you there and not answer the question here, but a lot of detailed information is available on our website. Very comprehensive site. So one would be the jobs.ucmerced.edu. That's where you can look for on-campus jobs. That also includes federal work study jobs, so they're all mixed in there. There's actually a link specific for that type of position. And then there's also the hire.ucmerced.edu, and that website will take you to the Center for Career and Professional Advancement. You can learn about jobs there as well. There's internship opportunities, volunteer community service, research opportunities. They also often have different types of workshops for resume, cover letter writing. They actually have a Bobcat closet, I believe is what they call it, and it's a clothing closet where you can borrow different types of professional attire if you happen to not have something that might be appropriate for an interview. So they also have that opportunity. Again, that website is hire, which is hire.ucmerced.edu, and the other is jobs.ucmerced.edu. Again, Google being a great resource for that information as well to get you those links in case you didn't have a chance to jot them down. And let's see, what else do we have here? Can either of you talk about comparing a UC campus to a CSU? Did you have that opportunity before you chose UC Merced as your school?
No, I did not.
Okay, Carmen?
So my choice was either Cal State Northridge or UC Merced. And like I said before, I came in as a bio major, and UCs are more research-based compared to the Cal States. So that's why I wanted to come to UC Merced, to go into more research rather than like a Cal State, which I guess would be more like studying.
Okay, perfect. And as we are nearing that 7:10 time period, how about we wrap up with this one last question? Can you give any really significant tips that you feel would be important for any new student that would be moving onto campus, any first year?
I would definitely say don't be afraid to ask questions or reach out to your professors or even your classmates. They're there to help you. They're very welcoming. Most of the time they'll welcome you with open arms. Also time management is going to be the best skill that you could have coming in, or if you don't think you have it, learning how to time management. Just because there's always going to be something thrown at you, whether it be classes, labs, discussions. Maybe you want to join a fraternity, sorority. Maybe you want to join different kind of clubs. You're going to want to go to a gym or do research. Time management is going to be the best skill that you could use while here.
I would definitely recommend coming in with an open mind. College, UC is completely different from high school. So come in with an open mind. Get ready to experience new things. Join an organization. I really recommend joining an organization or becoming involved on campus, whether it be a job, like I said, an organization, a fraternity, sorority, something. Just get yourself involved and put yourself out there. Step out of your comfort zone. Nothing bad has ever happened with stepping out of your comfort zone. If anything, you just progress, you grow. So yeah, just step out of your comfort zone and become involved on campus, and I'm happy with your transition.
Great words of wisdom from some current students nearing the graduation point of their program and their time at UC Merced. A very big thank you to Celeste, who's been helping us on the back end, to Carmen, who's been here live with us on screen, as well as Luis. Very much appreciate both of you joining us, actually all three of you joining us, and the two of you on screen with us here, answering all these questions live for you. We do still have over 200 questions here, so unfortunately we can't extend our live presentation tonight, but we will download all those questions and get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Lots of great questions, so we definitely want to make sure that we get all of those answered. So just for a little bit of a note for future, because this was so popular tonight, which has been amazing, we will go ahead and schedule another student panel in the future, the date to be announced shortly. You will find that information on our main website for admitted students, which is admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. So this was a live event tonight that we do consider a webinar. Keep note as well that in case you missed any of this tonight or you'd like to revisit it, you can also find on that same website a link to the recording within the next day or two. Again, that site is admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. And just keep a lookout there for upcoming events. We will try to do our best to get as many webinars up the next couple of weeks, just to give you an experience of different resources on campus, more information from student panelists, as well as housing, meal plans, just pretty much everything that you may need to know as a new incoming student. And we definitely just want to stress how much we welcome you to our campus. And if you do have questions, definitely reach out to us. We also want to encourage you to join us on social media. If you're not already following us on either Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, go ahead and log into those accounts and start following them. They're specific to admissions, and I can give those handles to you in just a second. But we do announce events such as this one, as well as other important and critical dates and deadlines of things that are coming up. We also have some fun things that pop up, so definitely follow us on those channels. Let me show you here. So this is our Instagram. Looks like this, if you guys can see that. So that's going to be Life at UC Merced. So to follow us on Instagram, it's Life at UC Merced. Our Twitter, the handle there is go2 UC Merced. So GO2 UC Merced. That's going to be our Twitter handle. And then on Facebook, you'll find us if you just look up UC Merced Admissions. The specific handle for that is UC Merced Admissions, and you'll find us there. Yeah, we do lots of things there, so definitely follow us and just keep up to date with dates and deadlines. So having said all of that, again, my name is Ricky Hill, and I am your e-recruiter at UC Merced, and I have been your moderator tonight. Again, a great big thank you to Carmen, Luis, and Celeste for joining us tonight and providing all of these great answers to your questions. And just keep a lookout again, one last time, admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars for more upcoming events. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.